Wait, it should be good now. Wait, refresh. Yo, chat, spam refresh. Did it just come on, or did you guys have to refresh to see it? Oh, you had to refresh? Refresh! Um, 10. My eyes are bleeding from reviewing all this, but luckily we're going through all the big ones now. It gets a lot of stuff out of the way, and these are definitely really big pieces. So that's like generally a good thing. Uh okay. All right. Let me take a look at Bookmaker. Let's see how they're doing. Okay, they're at, oh my god, they did most of them. Of the 800, they only have 301 left. Do 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 do. I already read this. Ah! Got him, boys. Holy fuck. It's a good thing I went through them all. It took a little bit of work, but I'm glad I sat there and really cut out a lot of the big pieces. A lot of that relates to the evidence we already have as well. So as you're seeing me chop through it, I have the other evidence in the back of my mind. Hey. Oh my God. I just spent the last, I don't even know how long, going through all the subpoenas and putting the notes into the file. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Sparks?
Hello, sir. I'm about to go into interrogation.
Oh, what did you do?
I'm the interrogator.
Oh,
sir.
thank God. All right.
Are you sure?
Yes. I don't have a statute of limitations, so if I did a crime, then you guys can charge me a year from now if you wanted to.
No, we listen, there's enough corruption happening every week. If we fall,
Sir,
then it's over.
If for whatever reason I'm doing crime, it's a doppelganger or my family's being held hostage. It says so on my profile. I'm so confident I'll never have to worry about any of that. Anyway, no, this is the information I found out in closing yesterday with a first-party witness that has Frodo admitting that he deleted all the photos on purpose.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, so how does that work?
So I have permission for so it's a very rare thing and hasn't been done in San Andreas, but Crane's willing to entertain it. If you have new evidence that's found, because it technically wasn't in the closing of the case, it was in closing, but that wasn't the exclusion of the case. If for some reason Crane doesn't, admit it, and the case doesn't go the way we want, then that is technically new evidence, and we file a judicial appeal with that new evidence. But we can post facto submit the evidence following the trial, which would allow obviously arguments for acceptance or denial from the defendant.
What was it?
So we're about to go to interrogation with Hannah Ellis. She's a recently barred attorney. She's also the partner of an LSP officer. She's also going to apply to be our mechanic.
Okay.
But we
so like, how did she come across this information?
Apparently she used to be, I actually don't know. Apparently she had a conversation directly with Frodo like a week or 2 weeks ago or something. But she had completely forgot about it till yesterday. And I do trust her that she's telling the truth because she's apologizing left and right. She's like, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get arrested, all this kind of stuff. So
holy
if you want to be in attendance,
fuck.
it should be 20 minutes or less.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I might do because I I'm like,
It's yeah, no, I can read
Yeah.
it perfectly fine. It won't be an issue whatsoever. Hey, hello, counselor. Marshall, but that's fine. Where in Richmond are you? For some reason it didn't. Can you ping me again? You can send it to me via text, that's fine. I'm old fashioned. Sometimes I forget I can do that. Oh, I was thinking Rockford Plaza, not Richmond. Would you feel more comfortable at the observatory, or would you feel more comfortable at MRPD? Observatory is where I want to do it.
no, hearsay. That's not hearsay, man. Hearsay
That's fine.
is when you say you heard someone say something. I updated the fuck out of. I read through all the subpoenas. I made a shitload of notes in 47021. You're in your head, aren't you?
No,
Oh.
I'm just running on E. 47021.
47021. You'll notice I went through
this one.
Lang, Luciano's, and Speedy's. Speedy, Benji, Quantum are fucked.
Oh, yeah?
Well, look at my notes. Benji asked for guns to sell at night at trade day. M70's guns, sales of guns. Orders are in the locker. And then Speedy's getting materials from Quantum. And then even more
Oh
info
my
between
God.
Speedy and Luciano. There's discussion of Bavalari
Sir.
moving.
Oh,
Um,
can I have an engine?
So I did it this way because it kind of puts a lot of the big pieces of evidence together. And then I'm also going to be, once we get the book stuff, like that's what that placeholder's for. It's kind of like, high level notes of things. So it we're filtering all the junk out and saying, okay, where's the meat and potatoes?
Yeah. Just so you're aware, a lot of people here are just working on some final things. Everyone's really locked in.
Good.
So we're all just trying to get these final few things across the finish line.
I'm going to try not to disturb. It looks like the books are down to only 300 left to categorize, so that's good.
Jeez, okay.
No, yeah,
Alrighty.
287 out of 800 something this morning. So,
damn.
Yeah, so it's moving.
Blunt, racism is a plague upon the state of San Andreas, and I'll pay it out of my own pocket to get rid of it. I've already cured. I've already cured one racist. I'll cure the rest. 030 76 Richmond 10-7 interrogation.
Oh, you want to do it out in the open?
No, she wants to go to the observatory because she's afraid because brother was LSPD that other officers might do it. So. Or that her partner, because her partner's LSPD, that he's going to receive retaliation because I think he's not. I don't even think he's. Blunt, what did you say about engine with Angel on PS something? Beep boop, beep boop. What'd you say about Angel Amadeus or whatever?
Like an E6 block.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, but I need a whole engine though.
Yeah, but they if you tell them you want it built, they can usually build it.
If you tell them, they will build.
Yeah, pretty much.
Copy.
Going back from where I came. Going back from where I came.
Hi, honey. What are you talking about? I am at the gym. I just did 30 minutes on the elliptical.
Ah. What a day, huh? What a fucking day, bro. I'm so cooked. Anything good? I went through so many fucking subpoenas, bro. Yeah, I went through so many fucking subpoenas. You have no idea. It was only 3, but it was like a lot. It was a lot.
030 dropping tech for interrogation. So just to be clear, this is a voluntary hello director.
You don't?
I'll go over this in the interrogation, obviously. Interrogation, quote unquote, but the voluntary discussion. I'm gonna read you Miranda just because it's back here on the left. You're not under arrest. But it's just to cover our bases, we're gonna be reading it to you. So, and I'll read that on there, and that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions for me before we go into recording?
I don't think so. Sorry, let me mute my phone before I forget.
Not an issue.
Okay.
As a reminder, mute your dispatch. Well, it's gonna be an audio recording unless you have a camera or something.
This feels familiar somehow. I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, you mean the bit that we did about
Yeah,
something? Or
yeah,
I don't even remember
yeah.
what the specifics were. But...
You were interrogating me like I was a faceless asset.
Oh yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
that, and something about asses or something. Anyway,
yeah.
I remember that now. All right,
Mhm.
phone is muted.
Brief. Oh, I'm gonna mute my phone.
oh,
I'm just gonna be briefly distracted by something.
Do you want me to wait until you're not distracted?
It should be like a 30 seconds. I think you need to set the camera.
Okay.
I just want to give you a heads up if if I spaced out, that's the reason why.
Sure. All right, give me a second. All right. All right. So today is the 7th of May, 2026 at 1811 PST, parentheses, the best time zone in parentheses. In the room today for this voluntary discussion / interrogation. will be conducted by Deputy Marshal Skylar Sparks, badge 030, as well as Marshal Zhang Wayne, badge 07. In the room with us is a Miss Hannah Ellis. If you could just speak for the recording, please.
Hello, this is Hannah Ellis.
All right, and so just for the nature of the recording, this is a voluntary interview / interrogation. You at any point in time, you're not being no there are no charges being levied against you, Miss Ellis. There's nothing that we're accusing you of. This is something that came up during the trial of Frodo Dachi yesterday, and we are as soon as we can have this discussion with you. But for brevity and for everyone's sake and rights, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be provided to you by state free of charge, should you be one available. Do you have any questions? I know you're an attorney, but do you have any questions about the rights as I've read them to you today?
Nope, I understand them in full.
Okay. And do you require an attorney at this time to continue the discussion with us?
No, ma'am. I'll just represent myself.
Okay. So I'm gonna read out the text message that you sent me last night just for clarity's sake. You stated about 20 hours ago, directly to me in text message, you said, "This is probably a really bad time to bring this up, but in one of the calls Frodo and I had after Bubba J shot High Command, he admitted to me he was going to delete pictures even though he shouldn't. I don't remember which call, but he admitted out loud to me, 'I'm so sorry about this. I'm so sorry, Skylar.' And then we discuss about having this particular meeting today. Could you elaborate as to what that means as far as from the beginning? Like, what's your relationship with Frodo Dachi?"
So I believe it was within my first couple of weeks that I moved to Los Santos last year, that I had met him. I had been pulled over. It was a whole situation, but I'd been pulled over, and he was one of the officers that was on scene. And we ended up going back to MRPD, and I was sat in an interrogation room, and he happened to be there. I was questioned a lot, given the context of the situation in which I've been pulled over. And in the course of that, he thought that I would make a really good fit for dispatch. And so we began and maintained a friendship for the
I'm going to interrupt
duration.
you. For some reason,
Sorry.
my audio wasn't working. Just
That's
for,
okay.
for the sake, if everyone can confirm, I read Miss Ellis her rights. I confirmed that it's a voluntary interview. I am Deputy Marshal Skylar Sparks. That's Marshal Zhang Wayne, and you are Miss Hannah Ellis. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and you're here voluntarily, and you waived your right to an attorney.
Yes, I am here voluntarily. I've waived my right to an attorney.
Okay, so
I do understand my rights.
Okay, so start from the beginning concerning your text messages then that you sent me. But you said in the first couple weeks you worked here or lived here and you were trying to apply for dispatch?
So I was first introduced to Frodo Dachi a little over, well, I guess I can't say a little over a year, but it would have been about 2 weeks after I moved here, back in January of 2025. And we had been introduced because I was pulled over for a traffic stop. And I was taken back to MRPD for interrogation and questioning just due to the events that led to that traffic stop. And he thought that I'd be a good fit for dispatch. And so at that point, we began and maintained a friendship. And I ran into him, I believe, at the hospital. Yes, at the hospital. It was after John Hydra. So this whole event started prior to Bubba J shooting the High Command, Shift 2 High Command. Frodo was at the hospital and he was really upset because John Hydra had been admitted into the ICU for some pretty critical injuries. I wasn't given specifics or anything like that. But he was very emotional about it. And of course, Frodo is someone that I considered a friend at the time. I was there and I supported him. And of course, the records that have been subpoenaed, I called and I texted him and I checked in, left voicemails, did everything I could to possibly support him in every way I could. And it was in the duration that he was standing outside of the ICU doors. I believe, I could be misremembering. It has been a few days, but I believe. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. That was so gross. It was after Bubba J had shot High Command that I had finally gotten in contact with him to see how he was doing, because I was dropping off food, drinks, like whatever it was he needed, if he needed company while he was standing there, because I was under the impression that Frodo was a very good officer, and that he was there to be supportive. So I was trying to assist him in what he believed to be his duty at that time. And during that call, he said that he was being looked at in relation to the Bubba J shooting. Um, he did not give me specifics. He did tell me that Oxby was one of the people in ICU. But during that conversation, he said that he was looking through pictures, and he was going to delete some because he didn't want them to be seen during the subpoena. When he told me that, I just assumed that it was like memes that he wasn't proud of. Like we all have memes that we don't want the public to see, you know. And I didn't think anything of it. And I had forgotten about it. And then in the duration of the trial yesterday, and then listening to closing arguments, I remember this conversation that I had with him where he admitted that he was going to be deleting pictures even though he shouldn't, and that he also had actually just started deleting them while I was on the phone with him. And that's when I text you and I said, "I'm really sorry this is late. Horrible time. But here you go."
Have you had any communications with Mr. Dachi since you had that conversation after the Bubba J shooting?
I let me check. I might have called him after that. I would have to look at the phone records to know for sure. But I haven't had
Okay.
any definitive major conversations that come to mind since then, no. Other than just checking in as a friend.
Okay. So that being said, you said it was shortly after the Bubba J shooting, and can just to clarify, was that while he was in ICU watching over the officers that were shot?
Holy
Yes, I believe it
shit!
was the day after the shooting occurred.
Okay. Did he ever tell you who made him aware that he was being investigated?
I don't remember. But he did
Okay.
tell me that he was being investigated. And I also believe that he warned me that I would also probably be questioned by the state marshals. By you guys.
Okay, so he warned you that we would question him. Okay, and did he tell you what to do after that, or was there anything elaborating beyond that?
No, there wasn't. There was just more of just because we had been in such close contact. That's as far as I understood it to be at the time.
Okay. So why not come before us before? Why wait until the trial?
Because to me, and again, and this is a fault of my own, is so something that should be known about me is I think the world is very black and white, and I'm learning that there are many, many shades of gray. But when I think of a law enforcement officer, I think of doing the correct thing. I don't think of corruption. I don't think of destroying evidence or anything of the sort. Like that's not something that comes to my mind, and that's not something that happened whenever he told me he was deleting pictures. To me, like I think about the pictures that I have on my phone, or have had him on my phone in the past, and I think about selfies, I think about pictures of friends that I no longer have, and I'm like, "Man, like, to me, that's what deleting pictures to me, that's what it is." And it hadn't occurred to me in the slightest that he was deleting evidence, destroying evidence of any kind or anything that would be related to this trial. Until it was in closing, it was like I genuinely just remembered that conversation because I had filed it away. It's just like, "Oh, I'm cleaning out my old pictures," because I do that. I do that all the time. I'm really, really bad
No.
about deleting old photos. And
Right. So just to clarify, I apologize for interrupting you, but I just
nope,
want to
it's
get
okay.
clarity, especially for the recording. He said, just to go off of what you said, you're stating that Frododanchi told you directly that he was deleting photos so they wouldn't show up in the subpoena. That's what you said, so I'm just asking for clarity if that's what you were told directly by Mr. Dachi.
I can't say that that's verbatim what I was told because it has been such a long amount of time, but that is the general gist of what I was told, yes.
Okay. But by general gist, do you remember if you, to go off of what you were saying, he was deleting photos. What was it that he stated
The
that he was
direct
deleting
quote
them
from
for?
him was that he was thinking about deleting pictures, and that he know that he shouldn't. And then we had more like friendly conversation for I believe I want to say it was a minute or maybe two.
Okay.
And then following that, he said, "I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna delete them anyway."
Okay. Got it. Okay. So that being said, um, prior to this date, with your interactions with Mr. Dachi, knowing
Mhm.
what you know now and coming to us with this discussion, were there any other activities or was there anything else that you may have discussed with him that was similar along those lines that you thought was harmless but very clearly at least in your opinion, was not.
In direct correlation to this situation, no. That is the only conversation that we had that was lengthy over the phone. And it was the only conversation during that time period that was just the two of us.
Okay.
All of the conversations we had in person, there was a large group. Owen Bradshaw, Michael Hemsworth, Amron Rose. I'm trying to remember, but there was a pretty decent group of us. Whereas that phone call was just the two of us, and I think it was just the comfortability of the fact that we'd been friends and had a long-standing friendship is my best. It's not my place to speculate, actually. I apologize.
Okay. So since that date to the point of this particular trial, were you ever approached by anyone in law enforcement, including the San Andreas State Marshals, or anyone else concerning this investigation?
No, I was not.
Okay. And that would be even off duty. So people like trying to have conversations with you off duty to double check things or stuff like that.
No, nothing of the sort. The only contact that I've had, is just between, Michael Hemsworth and Owen Bradshaw, just trying to talk to me as a friend, not even as an off-duty person, to see how I was handling it. Because I did
Okay.
not take it very well when the charges were brought against Frodo. Because at that time, I didn't think
Sure.
that he was capable, excuse me, of the crimes that he was accused of.
Okay. And what's your relationship with Hemsworth and Bradshaw?
So Michael Hemsworth is dating one of my best friends, Cassidy Collins. And so he is a friend tangentially because of that. And Owen Bradshaw is my boyfriend.
Okay, so just a personal relationship had nothing to do
Yes.
with. Okay, that's fine. Um, hmm. Wayne, do you have any questions?
Just for my clarification, in the same part where he says he admitted he shouldn't do that, was that the same conversation he admitted he knew, or he informed you that he was under investigation?
Yes, it was. It was all in the same phone call. And this is one of those hindsight, I should have put two and two together, but unfortunately, sometimes I am very, very dense.
So that being said, that should be around the 8th of April. Would you be willing to look back at your phone and send us copies of those text messages?
Um,
Or would you be willing for us to subpoena your phone consensually between the 7th and the 10th? Obviously, anything personal
Um,
and anything like that's not related to there, we would redact because that's not necessary.
as
Like
far as
things between your boyfriend. Yeah,
sorry to interrupt. Would you be okay if it's from the third to what was it, the 10th?
the 10th. Yeah, because that was when he restored the photos. So
Yeah.
and so obviously, we would get a copy of the records. We would send you the full copy of the records, and then we would redact anything that wasn't related to conversations between you, Frodo, or the case. If that's something that you're willing to consent to, I can get a contract together to get that there because we would like a copy of that phone call to just for the date to further substantiate that.
right, absolutely. I will happily provide you screenshots of the text between Frodo and myself. I'm gonna let you know right now, there is not a lot, but I'm happy to provide those for you.
Sure.
And I am willing to sign off on a subpoena of my phone calls from that time period. But given the lifestyle that I was living, at the time of this incident, I would prefer my texts are not subpoenaed.
Sure. Okay. We can discuss that further off recording.
Okay.
Um, is there anything else, Wayne, that you want to ask her concerning this? Oh, I do actually. Hold on. How did you know it was Frodo having that conversation with you?
Um, I'm sorry, I don't know how else to answer this. It was a phone call from his number. It was Frodo's voice. I've had countless conversations with him. He
Familiarity then. Like you trusted that
yeah,
the person
it
on the
was-
other side was Frodo because it was they were calling from
right,
Frodo's number.
absolutely. It was
Sounded like
familiarity.
Frodo,
It was
same voice cadence, everything. Like it was
right,
Frodo.
same voice cadence, talked like he did. He was able to talk about how he was standing outside of the ICU. Like we were able to have those connections for me to not have any shadow of a doubt that it was in fact Frodo that I was speaking to on the other end of the line.
Could you do you have Frodo saved as a contact?
Yes, I do.
Can you just confirm the number you saved?
I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so what is the number that he gave you? Or sorry, that you contacted him from?
I have 420-892-5343, and that is the only number I have had from him
Wait,
since I
what's
met him
broken,
in
chat?
2025.
Yeah, I mean, my
One last question that I
buffered
have,
a while
and
ago. I
then
wonder
obviously
if
whatever,
now both
Marshal
streams
Wayne
are
has,
running.
how between
Wait,
Since I
what's
met him.
broken?
January 2025 and now, how often were you speaking with him? Like, what would you say your familiarity with him is or was?
That one is that there's like 3 prongs to that one. So when I first met him in within the first, I would say 7 to 8 months of me living in the city, I would say that we were in contact probably about like once or twice a week. That when stuff happened, like he got shot in the butt one time, and so we talked to each other a fair amount during that time frame, just because I was checking in on him. But I would say that we were casual friends. I would never say that he was like my best friend or the most trusted one. And then there was a period where I did temporarily move out of the city. So there's no contact in that. And then since I've been back in the city, since I returned, I want to say in February of this year, we were in objectively consistent contact. We would see each other and have a small conversation, or
Okay.
I could place a phone call. But I would say that it was just very casual.
Gotcha. Okay. Wayne, do you have anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Oh, one last question. Did Frodo ever call you from any anonymous number or any other number outside of that? Like,
No.
did you? No, he's only ever contacted you through his number.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're gonna go ahead and sign this recording off at 18:29 PST (parentheses the best time zone) end parentheses. So basically, what we can do, Hannah, if you are willing to, we can literally limit the subpoena to just
Okay.
between you and his number. The judges are going to see it. They have a very strict moral code. If you're willing to do that, we can write the subpoena and consent to basically just between your number and his number. And so that it would be from the 3rd at midnight GMT to the 11th at midnight GMT, or the 12th technically midnight GMT.
Okay, yeah, I'm completely on board with that. I
Okay.
just
No,
I
I
made a lot of phone calls and a lot of texts. I'm not going to go into detail, of course. But
We're
there's
not even if
yeah.
it came up and said I stole 13 cars and you did that on the 10th, we're almost on a statute. I'm gonna let you know right now. Neither me or Wayne are going to arrest you.
Okay,
This is
okay,
this is one of those situations where yes, we do have a friendly relationship away from my job, like you're my friend.
Mhm.
But also that's not what we do with the marshals.
Yeah, I'm
but
mostly
you're
just
providing
worried about
information, right?
implicating other people, because
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fine. We are going to restrict it. I'll get a contract together. You're welcome to hang out here, or you're welcome to hang out on the couch if you want to get somewhere more comfortable.
Okay.
I'll get a short consent up. I'm going to get this recording up. Wayne, we've got filed the motion to add that, and then obviously I still want to go ahead with the subpoena, because if for some reason he doesn't get found guilty for corruption, we'll be filing a judicial appeal with this new evidence.
Okay.
So I'll get the contract up. You're welcome to sit here if you want, Miss Ellis. Otherwise,
I want to get out of this damn room if that's acceptable. It is
It's perfectly
stuffy
fine.
in here.
It's
Ugh.
perfectly fine.
And it smells so
No.
weird.
Chat, give me a 1 if you see
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
stream.
These side of things, I know that sometimes the thing might spit out extra stuff. If we specify we're only looking at yours and Frodo's communication, even if extra stuff gets spit out from other
Can you jump,
members,
Hannah?
we won't be able to see it or anything.
Yeah.
It's gonna
It'd
be encrypted.
what is sent
Okay.
to you might be unencrypted, but me and Wayne can't see the rest.
Okay,
Does that
yeah,
make sense?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like, are you guys who's having I think it's some people, maybe it's like region based or something.
I'm so sorry that you had a shitty friend.
Okay, it's so
One,
weird
but it
to,
keeps freezing.
look back on it and be like, oh my god, like holy shit, this guy. a reminder, the full extent of the reason that we got to know each other in the first place was
Oh,
because
it
I was
keeps
effectively taken
buffering?
hostage and taken to
Ooh.
subjected to a
And it's
dispatcher
like
meeting.
2 streams as well?
Oh,
What the
that's
fuck?
why it
So chill
says.
about that.
That's why it says applied to dispatch EP on your profile.
Yeah.
I was wondering
'Cause
about
I never
that.
actually applied to be a dispatcher. It wasn't ever something I wanted to do. It was just
Oh.
forced upon me.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh.
Should I restart
Also, I
the
hate to be this
stream?
person, but you're very, very quiet, sir.
That would
I'm
be
happy to
Director
speak with
Brian.
you.
Oh, sorry
I'm
about
also
that.
Very,
Yep.
very deaf.
What's your stay ID, Hannah?
17228.